Okay, we are back. It has been a couple of weeks since we changed the substrate in both tanks. Hope you enjoyed the video on the 120. We did this tank roughly a week later, like literally a week later, and it's been going okay. I consider the substrate swaps going to be basically a new cycle, even though we have good media in the tank that's already cycled, but you're still going to have problems. Um, Not in every case, but with these tanks having all those spores from whatever was going on, we're going to do some hydrogen peroxide into the 120 like we did before, just trying to beat it off the substrate and get it knocked back. I'm also going to pull some Simolis out of there. I need to hang on to it. It seems to be the most effective. And I'm going to show you just how crazy different these my tanks are. I'm just going to literally pull them out. I'll show you everything. How the leaves are all just completely covered. And I'm just going to put it into the 40 gallon that I have and just show you just how nice that 40 gallon is, and I have no problems. Just by the way, you're going to see some bubbles here. I did finally hook the CO2 into the return on this tank. So the two reactors I have are capable of actually performing overflow mode, and that's what you're seeing. It looks like I should back it down just a bit because I want that purge maybe once every minute to 45 seconds, and it's running about every 20 seconds or so. Probably what I need to do is adjust the plate on there. I had adjusted it further down to try and get more CO2 into the system, but it wasn't tied into the return line directly. So the water level is actually lower than center, so I'm actually getting less CO2 out of the second reactor because as that water line drops down, the diameter is shrinking. So I don't know if I'll fix that today. I might just fix it tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but next week, because we have a lot to do today. We've got two tanks changed, and we have these two to go. So yeah, nothing arrangement wise. This is going to be the official start of Dutch Series Part 2. I know you guys think I suck at this, and I have been certainly, but we'll get there. I'm not worried about it. So what I'll do is I'm going to run over to the 120 and show you how bad that is. It is significantly more worse than this one. All right. Okay, so here's the 120, and you can, if you remember from the substrate video, we had all the plants cut down pretty low, and you can see that they're growing well. But this tank is in freaking rough shape, and it's definitely the same algae that we had from the aqua soil. This week is the first time I'm noticing just a touch of the string, which I would consider normal with the substrate being swapped out. This stuff, like I said, never seen it until we introduced that Netleo Professional. So yeah, really at a loss. Of course, we're going to cut everything down today. We'll get everything scraped out. We're going to do a full hydrogen peroxide across this substrate that's literally carpeted with algae and try and knock this back. You can see just some little pinks on the Simolis, but it's literally just completely covered. So I'm going to pull one of those out to try and save the plant, and regular lobelia here. So we have two different plants that you can see how they'll change in the 40. So yeah, I don't know. The tops look good, and in a few days they'll start to get algae, and as it starts to grow, they just continue to be completely plastered in algae, and that's what's been going on for months and months now. Yeah, I don't know. I've actually gotten desperate. I'm dosing CChem XL in here daily, and a big chunk after a water change to see if that will kill it, but it has so far it's had no effect. Yeah, no clue. Maybe I'll reach out to Joe Harvey, and since I'm having to increase my macros. Oh, so this one wasn't as bad with the macros. It was showing around 24, I think. So this one's going to stay triple dose, and then probably two single doses, and then we'll just monitor it if we need to do like a half dose just to get it up, because I'm trying to get to like 30, 10, 40 in that area. Obviously my solution doesn't equal those numbers, but it'll be very close, so it's good enough, and I don't want to change that. So that's the goal, to keep the tank the same numbers I had back in 2023 with the AGA tank. Those were straight 30, 10, and 40. Now I did front load those, and I didn't do any doses over the week, so certainly the nutrients came down over the week. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe we should go back to front dosing with water changes. And I don't want to confuse y'all. What I do is I dose the containers to 30, 10, 40, and then change the water. So those tubs are dosed to those numbers. And, I do larger than 50% water changes every single week. So, I'll reevaluate all of that. I really want to try to figure out how to do the dosing by bottle, because it's just a little easier, safer, I guess. And I just want to learn it. So maybe that's why I'm struggling. I'm trying to learn a new method that I've never used before, and I'm just not getting it right. But anyways, we're going to do the 100 first, and then I'll shoot the video and get some close-up. Once all this is scraped out, you can just see how algae-filled these leaves are that I'm going to transplant into the 40, and I will update a picture of those plants every single week, and just watch how the 40 destroys the algae and the plant comes back to good health. All right, we will see you guys after all this is cleaned up. I think what we'll do with this tank is we are going to toss the bottoms and replant it straight to the substrate. And I think there's a Blexia SP Red back there. I have plantlets of it in the other tanks doing fine. I think I'm just going to toss that out completely. It does not want to do anything in this tank except for get algae. Rotala, I think, we'll just cut that off because it looks like the tops are the most affected. But the Bacopas, Mirios, Furcata, Colorata, tops look good, bottoms look like trash. Same with the baby tears here. So those we'll get the bottoms tossed and replanted, and then we'll trim everything else. All right, we'll see you after it's all cleaned up, and hopefully the weeks going forward, things improve. All right, see you then.